So the dominance hierarchy is older than trees. So that's really something to think about. You know, we know that animals organize themselves into hierarchies, and we'll say of dominance because it's more true the farther back you go in time, at least since the time of the crustaceans, you know, when we split from our common ancestor 300 million years ago. And it's true for social animals and non-social animals. So even animals that don't live together in groups have to organize themselves into a hierarchy in the space they inhabit. Now we're more like herd creatures, so it's even more relevant to us, but there's just no escaping a hierarchical arrangement in social being. That is social being, and it's evolutionarily ancient beyond conception. So the dominance hierarchy is older than trees. So that's really something to think about. And then, you know, when you're thinking about the reality that shaped us, say from an evolutionary perspective, but also from a cultural perspective, what you have to understand is that the things that have shaped us most are the things that have been around the longest. And so you could say those are the most real things. And you can't even see some of them. You can't come in here and see the multiple dominance hierarchies that are at work. You can in a way, because the chairs are set up to face this way and I'm facing that way, and that gives you some clues about the social order here, and you take the cues instantly, right? You organize yourselves according to mutual expectation, and that's part of your procedural knowledge about how to behave as a social creature. Now that knowledge is really, really deep, and a lot of it's coded in your behavior now, and in other people's behavior as well. And that's, you know, that's the expectations you have of other people and of yourself, and a lot of those are implicit, right? So when we're interacting, there's a very large number of things that you just don't get to do, and you know that too, and you won't do them, and that way we can act as if we understand each other, even though we don't, because you're really complicated and I'm really complicated, and there's lots of situations where we might really be in conflict, but because we share a map of the culture, the cultural expectations, it makes part of our, it's built right into our perception. You will act out that set of expectations, and so will I. And if neither of us can do that, even if one of us can't, we're either going to immediately devolve into conflict, or we're going to avoid each other like the plague. And that's exactly the right thing to do.